Testing Limits with a Z wants to know, so clearly the new sequel of Ghostbusters is centered around a team of children. I don't know what Testing Limits' voice sounds like, so please don't take offense. If they ever decide to bring in a whole new team of adult Ghostbusters, I think you would fit the part well. Thank you. Would we ever see a black and red Savage name tag on the big screen if you had the chance? 150%. Yeah, I would totally. I would totally. Let's see here. Yeah, John Rudy says, as a kid who grew up in the 90s, I had a steady diet of Ghostbusters 2 on cable, and so I've never quite had the hate for it that others seem to. It's totally fair. Are you a Ghostbusters 2 fan, or is it not your cup of tea? What is it about the movie that puts you in that particular camp? And what's your favorite prop from the second film besides the 1A? My problem with the second film is it feels too self-conscious. I think that's my biggest problem with it. Like the first film has no consciousness of the cultural juggernaut that it is going to end up being. And it is rough around the edges in some really specific ways. I mean, Bankman's character doesn't hold up well in terms of his portrayal in some ways. There's a way in which the second movie has its tongue in its cheek that bothers me comedically. It doesn't feel as dangerous. I don't even know. Even that logo with the ghost giving the two fingers like that feels too self-conscious to me. And I'm not as scared by the villain. I'm not as scared by Vigo as I was by Zool. You know, there's really that. Like the most important thing for me for a suspension of disbelief in a one of the most important pieces is that the villain's got to be scary. So it's why I don't love the third Raiders film, because that like old rich white guy doesn't really scare me. And I don't know who. I mean, you know, there are other villains, but they're not that spooky. Do we have some? We do. Hold on. I'm going to look in my texts here. Hoyle Anderson says, what objects don't exist in the Ghostbusters canon universe but should? That's an interesting question. What objects should exist but don't? What don't exist but should? I'm not positive I have an easy answer to that. I mean, I suspect you're kind of leaning into, how almost all horror movies throughout film history don't work if you put cell phones in the mix, which I love. No, all the technology and objects. I mean, there's no supernatural things that that they don't cover. I'd love to see more inside Tobin's spirit guide, to be sure. I'd really love a masterful edition of that. But I don't think, Hoyt, that I have a really a specific answer to that. J-Man3302 asks, did you get asked by Jason Reitman to do any props for Afterlife? I respectfully decline to answer that question until a point in the future that is still to be determined. How about that? Is that enough of an answer? I feel like that's enough of an answer. Jason is a good friend, and we talked a lot about the movie, and that's one of the reasons that I am so excited about you all and me getting to see it. But as for specific things that I may or may not have done, all of that is to be revealed in due time.
Thank you so much for watching that video. If you'd like to further support us on Tested, there are many ways you can do so. One is through paid membership, and there are several tiers of that, each with their own set of unique bonuses. You can follow the links below for that, or you can go to our merch store where we are always coming up with brand new products. In honor of the holidays, we've got our Tested Ugly sweater in both black and we have a white one. We have some brand new patches, and this is a particular type that I made a joke about one day, and now it's a reality. You know, merit badges. When you're a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout, you get a merit badge for achieving something. Well, Tested now has demerit badges for when you screw something up, because that's just as important in learning as getting something right. So this is the badge for when you measure something once and have to cut it twice. This is the badge for when you accidentally hook up your electronics wrong and you release the mysterious blue smoke that powers them and they no longer work. And this one here is for when you get your finger caught in the lathe and it almost gets torn off. That might be quite me specific. I hope that never happens to you. These are all designed by Tested's own Jen Schachter, and they are not the only patches we're going to release. In fact, these are just the beginning. If you have ideas for demerit badges that we should release, we'd love to hear them. We also still have our regular complement of posters, and they're all back in stock, including my hand-drawn toolboxes. I love seeing pictures you guys send us of these hanging in your makerspaces and your offices, your man caves, and your sheds around the world. Get to the store, follow the links below, and hey, some of these might make great Christmas presents for the makers in your life. Thanks, you guys. Happy holidays.